It's a grand tour of Europe, all in a single day and all in Washington, D.C. Welcome to the European Union Open House. Every year for just one day in May, the embassies of all 27 member nations of the European Union open their doors to curious visitors. Here they are welcomed with cultural treats such as music, costumes, food, art, dancing, and anything else relating to their country's ways of life. Join me as we crisscross the old world while imagining medieval castles, cathedrals, and cobblestone streets surrounding us as we move from embassy to embassy. We might even chance upon the French ambassador's residence along the way. Grab your suitcase, carry-on, and personal item, and let's go! Hey guys, welcome back to Vigoroso DC, and I am back in Dupont Circle. You can see the big fountain behind me. And it is exactly 1 week after the Around the World Embassy Tour, if you've seen that series. If not, go back and check it out. But anyway, that was an event where these embassies from all over the world opened up their doors to the public. And you can just go inside the embassies, and they had all these things going on in the embassies. They had people dressed in traditional costumes, and there was music and dancing and free local food from those countries. And there were giveaways and just kind of artwork, so all kinds of stuff. But the thing about that event was it did not include the European Union countries. And that is because they have their own special day, which is exactly 1 week later. So here we are, and it is the following Saturday. It is May 10th, and you can hear a band warming up in the background, maybe. I don't know what that's all about, but behind me, it looks very different from it did last week. Last week, there was a line circling that water fountain twice to pick up free souvenir passports to get stamped. And this event is a lot smaller. As you'd imagine, there are way fewer European Union countries than compared to the rest of the world. So there are about 27 EU countries participating in this event, and last week there was about 65. So a bit smaller, but still just as cool. And we're going to take a walk around and check out what's going on at these different embassies. Again, just like last week was, this is a very popular event. There are people all over for them. Here in Dupont Circle, again, it looks very different from last week. And that's because there's nothing really set up for it here for the EU event. There are no passports for this one. There are only these little maps that have an area for a few stamps, and I will show you that a bit later on. So I picked one of those up, and it took like 3 seconds to get it, whereas last week you would have had to get on this line that wrapped around the water fountain twice. So real quick and easy with that. But yeah, we will go around to all these different places, see what's going on. But right now, I'm going to give you a quick look at Dupont Circle again. If you didn't see the other videos, this is it. And this is more or less how it usually looks on just a normal day. It's a nice spring afternoon, great weather. A lot of people just hanging out, band setting up. And here it's just kind of like a park. All right, let's go hit the embassies. So we are outside the Portuguese Embassy right now, and this line is insanely long. It wraps around the block twice, and it is a really long line. Like, it took me a while just to walk over here from where you would get on the line. So this would take the entire day to get in here, I think. But anyway, this is it, and we will move on to the next one. All right, so right now we are outside the Luxembourg Embassy. You can't really see it from here, but it wraps around, and it's another really long, slow-moving line. So I think we're just going to see this one from the outside. And yeah, there's the way out. It looks like they're giving away some snacks or whatever. And that is definitely alcohol. Looks like wine. There's a sign back there that says, everyone under 25 will be carded. And some more snacks. And that flag on the left is the EU flag, the dark blue one with the yellow stars in the circle. We'll probably be seeing that one a bit today. And there's the front of the line when you finally get up there. And right in the middle, there's the big banner. It says European Union Open House, Saturday, May 10th. Shortcut to Europe, no passport required. So there you have it. Here's the entrance to the Embassy of Estonia. And once again, I know maybe you're getting tired of hearing me say it, but it's an extremely long line, so we're not going to go in. But I will walk you down the line and tell you what happened when I did come here a couple of years ago. Actually, it was a bit more than a few years ago. This was back in 2016. And this was my very first time in Washington, D.C. I was not a tour guide yet at that point. And I was just a guy checking out DC, and I happened to be here at the right time. Just pure luck. Oh, let's check this out. And the line was not like this. Maybe it was because it was later in the afternoon. But I was with a bunch of couch surfers that I met up with, and we came down here and we went to the different embassies. Some of them, they had pretty short lines, so we went on those. Again, maybe it's because it was later in the afternoon. But in the Estonia Embassy, the ambassador was just kind of hanging out. He was wearing a t-shirt. I think it said Estonia on it. And he was the ambassador of Estonia to the United States. And we were just hanging out with the ambassador, talking with him, taking pictures with him. And I had actually spent a bit of time in Estonia a long time ago. This is back in 2000, 2001. And I was talking to him about that. So it was a really awesome experience. And this is the Bulgaria Embassy right up the road. We've got some performers dressed in traditional costumes. It looks like they might be getting ready to start up. Maybe, maybe not. And again, another massive line. But yeah, that was quite an experience back in the day, just hanging out with the Estonian ambassador, talking about the old days when I had first went to Estonia. And here's the Cyprus Embassy right here. And we also went inside in 2016 on that same day. It is right around the corner. And again, a super massive line. But really, it makes sense that the lines are so long in this area because this is just off of Dupont Circle, which is if you're taking the metro, the subway, you would get off at Dupont Circle. And then there's this whole cluster of embassies just a short walk from there. So it's the obvious starting point, and that's where I'm starting too. I'm no different than any of them. So very, very busy in this area, but later on we'll move out to some embassies that are more out of the way, and hopefully they'll be a bit better and we can actually have a chance to go in. And I actually visited Cyprus a few years back, and that was an amazing experience. Also went to North Cyprus, which is actually not an official country by UN standards, but that was pretty awesome. The Turkish Cyprus.